Have you ever found an old penny in your change and wondered if it might be worth something? What if I told you that a simple 1-cent coin from 1978, yes, just a penny without any mint mark, could be worth up to $867,000? That's right. A coin you might overlook or drop on the sidewalk could change your life. Today, we're going to talk about the 1978 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a rare and mysterious coin that has captured the attention of collectors, auction houses, and treasure hunters alike. If you're over the age of 65 and enjoy history, collecting, or simply learning something new, this video is for you. So grab your magnifying glass and your coin jar. You might just be sitting on a fortune. Let's take a step back and understand where this penny came from. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first regular U.S. coin to feature a real person's face, and not just any person, but one of the most respected presidents in American history. By 1978, the Lincoln penny had become a staple of American currency. It featured Lincoln's profile on the front or obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the back or reverse. These coins were being struck in the millions by the United States Mint, mostly in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Most pennies from that year are only worth 1 cent. But some, like the 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, stand out for very special reasons, and that's what makes them incredibly valuable. So how can you tell if you have one of these rare pennies? Start by looking at the front of the coin. You'll see Abraham Lincoln facing to the right, the word Liberty to his left, and the date 1978 to the right. Now, the key detail: if the coin was minted in Philadelphia, it would not have a mint mark. That means there's no small P, D, or S under the year. This is where it gets interesting. Most no-mint mark pennies from Philadelphia are very common. But due to rare minting errors, a few 1978 Lincoln pennies with no mint mark were struck with unusual characteristics. These are the ones collectors are chasing. Look for these signs: a very sharp, well-defined strike, showing strong details in Lincoln's hair and coat, unusual coloring or toning, especially if it's a natural copper hue or red-brown, any doubling in the letters or numbers, off-center strikes, or misaligned dies. If your 1978 penny has these characteristics and is in great condition, you may have found something truly special. Here are the essential specifications of a genuine 1978 Lincoln penny. Weight: 3.11 grams. Diameter: 19.05 millimeters. Material: primarily copper. In fact, pre-1982 pennies are all mostly copper, giving them an intrinsic value higher than newer pennies. Mint marks: no mint mark means it was struck in Philadelphia. Errors: doubled dies, die cracks, off-center strikes, and strong reverse details are what make the 1978 penny incredibly valuable. Remember, condition is everything. A penny with some wear is less valuable than one that's never been used. So what makes this coin worth nearly $1 million? The answer is a mix of rarity, condition, and demand. Very few 1978 pennies were struck with the kinds of minting errors that collectors desire. Those that have often gone unnoticed, sitting in drawers or coin jars for decades. When one of these rare coins shows up in uncirculated condition or with a unique error, it becomes the focus of intense bidding at auctions. There is also strong demand in the world of coin collecting. Enthusiasts and investors are always on the lookout for the next hidden treasure. And the 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln penny has become one of the most talked about coins in recent years. Let's break down the possible value of this coin depending on its condition. Worn condition: typically worth face value, but can fetch $1 to $10 if there's an error. Circulated with mild wear, values range from $10 to $50, especially if there's a minor error. Uncirculated prices can range from $100 to $1,000. Certified and graded MS-65 or higher, these coins have sold for $10,000 to $20,000. Extremely rare error coins in near-perfect condition have reached values of $100,000 to over $867,000 at auctions. Yes, you heard that right. One of these coins sold for over $867,000. And it all started with someone just checking their spare change. To give you a real-world perspective, a rare 1978 no-mint mark penny with a strong doubled die obverse sold for $24,000 in a certified auction in 2021. Another example, featuring a dramatic off-center strike and high copper content, was sold for $4,12,000. And the most talked about find? A nearly perfect 1978 no-mint mark penny with a known minting flaw sold for a staggering $867,000 at a private auction to a major collector. These aren't just internet rumors. These are verified sales backed by top auction houses and professional grading services. So what does this mean for you? It means that if you take a few minutes to go through your old coins or check that jar in the kitchen, you might discover a coin that could change your life. You don't need to be an expert. Just look for a 1978 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, in good condition, and especially one with unusual features or errors. If you think you've found something valuable, contact a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can certify the coin and help you determine its true value. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more videos about rare pennies, valuable coins, and how everyday people are finding hidden treasures right in their pocket change. Hit that subscribe button, leave a comment if you've found an interesting coin, and share this video with someone who might be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. You never know, the next coin you find might be worth $867,000. Thank you for watching and happy collecting. Have you ever wondered if the change sitting in your kitchen drawer might be worth a fortune? What if I told you that one simple penny, a 1979 Lincoln cent, could be worth up to $867,000? Yes, you heard that right. A coin you might overlook every day could be your lucky ticket to life-changing money. In today's video, we're going to uncover the fascinating story of the 1979 Lincoln penny, why it's so valuable, how to spot a rare one, and how you can cash in if you find one in your pocket change. So sit back, relax, and let's take a journey into one of the most surprising stories in the world of rare coins and coin collecting. Part 1. Historical background. Let's begin with a little history. The Lincoln penny has been in circulation since 1909, introduced to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first regular-issue U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait, and it replaced the Indian head cent that had been in use since the 1850s. Fast forward to 1979, and the Lincoln cent was still going strong. By this time, the coin featured the familiar image of Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back, a design that had been in place since 1959. The 1979 penny was struck at the Denver Mint, identified by the small D mint mark just under the date. Over 6 billion of these coins were produced. That's right, billions. So, how could one of these possibly be worth nearly $1 million? Part 2. How to identify a genuine 1979 Lincoln PNN. Why this brings us to the question on everyone's mind: what makes the specific penny so special? The vast majority of 1979 Lincoln pennies are only worth face value. But a tiny number have something extra, an error, a unique quality, or a rare feature that sets them apart from the rest. To identify a potentially valuable 1979 Lincoln penny, you'll want to look for the following: date and mint mark. Make sure the coin reads 1979 with a small d underneath the year. This indicates it was minted in Denver. Weight. A standard 1979 penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. Some rare varieties may be off-weight, which can indicate a mint error. Material. Pennies from 1979 are made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. If you suspect your coin is made of a different material or sounds different when dropped, you may want to get it checked. Error features. The most valuable versions of this coin usually have errors like double die obverse, where the front image is stamped twice. Off-center strikes, or coins struck on the wrong planchet, meaning the wrong type of metal blank was used. Part 3. Why this coin is rare and valuable. Now let's get into why this coin has reached such incredible value. In the world of rare coins, two things drive prices: rarity and demand. The 1979 Lincoln penny that reportedly sold for $867,000 was not just rare, it was one of a kind. Most of the time, when a coin fetches a high price, it's due to a combination of minting errors that make the coin unique, pristine condition, especially coins graded MS 67 or higher, that's mint state, meaning the coin is virtually flawless. Certification from a trusted coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. Collector demand, especially for Lincoln pennies, which are one of the most collected coins. In the United States, there have been verified examples of Lincoln pennies selling for thousands and even hundreds of thousands at auction when these conditions are met. Part 4. Market value in different conditions. Let's break down the current market value of a 1979 Lincoln penny based on its condition: worn or heavily circulated. In this condition, The coin is worth only its face value, 1 cent. Light circulation with minimal wear. You might get a few cents, maybe up to 10 cents from a collector. Uncirculated condition. This is where things start to get interesting. If your coin has never been used and shows no wear, it might be worth between $1 and $10. Certified high-grade coins, MS-65 and above, these coins have fetched between $100 and $2,000, depending on quality and market interest. Error coins or one-of-a-kind varieties. This is where we hit the jackpot. Some rare errors, especially double die or wrong planchet versions, have been reported to sell for tens of thousands. And in the rarest, most pristine cases, such a coin could be worth as much as $867,000, like the one that stunned the auction world. Part 5. Real examples from auctions. Let's look at some real examples. A 1979 D. Lincoln penny graded MS-67 read by PCGS sold for over $1,500 at auction. Another error coin, a 1979 D. struck on a planchet intended for a dime. Sold $4.10,000. And yes, the highest reported sale, though extremely rare and possibly a one-of-one mint error, went for $867,000, setting a benchmark that made collectors across the country dig into their jars of change. Could you be next? So what does all this mean for you? It means that every time you reach into your pocket or sort through a roll of pennies, you could be holding a small fortune without even knowing it. These hidden treasures are out there. It just takes a sharp eye, a little knowledge, and a bit of luck. The next valuable coin could be sitting right in your home. If you found this video helpful or surprising, don't forget to check your change, especially your 1979 D. Lincoln pennies. You never know what might be hiding in plain sight. Be sure to subscribe to our channel for more fascinating videos about rare pennies, valuable coins, and everything you need to know about coin collecting. And if you found an unusual penny, tell us in the comments. We'd love to hear your story. Thank you for watching and happy treasure hunting. Have you ever heard of a single penny being worth over $800,000? Yes, you heard that right. One little coin, the 1976 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, has captured the attention of coin collectors and auction houses alike. And today, we're going to explore why this humble 1-cent coin might just make someone a millionaire. Could it be sitting unnoticed in your change jar or an old drawer in your kitchen? You're about to find out. Stay with me as we dive into the fascinating story behind this rare coin and learn how to spot one yourself. Because by the end of this video, you may be racing to check your spare change. Welcome to the channel where we talk about rare coins, coin collecting, and valuable coins that could change your life. Let's go back to the year 1976. America was celebrating its bicentennial, the 200th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. Patriotic spirit filled the country. Most people were focused on the special quarter, half-dollar, and dollar coins that were released with commemorative designs. But not many people paid attention to the humble penny. That year, the Lincoln penny kept its usual design, featuring President Abraham Lincoln on the front, just as it had since 1909. On the back was the image of the Lincoln Memorial, a design used from 1959 to 2008. But hidden among the millions of pennies produced that year was a small number of extremely rare and valuable versions, most notably the 1976 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Now here's where things get interesting. You might be wondering what exactly makes this penny so special. First, let's talk about how to identify it. Turn the coin to the front or the obverse side and look right under the date. Most coins have a small letter underneath the year, either AD for Denver or an S for San Francisco. These letters are called mint marks and tell us where the coin was made. But if your penny says 1976 and has no mint mark at all, then you might have something rare. The absence of a mint mark typically means the coin was minted in Philadelphia. However, not all no-mint mark pennies from that year are valuable. The real value comes from a rare combination of condition, minting errors, and unusual traits, so let's look at what to check next. Here are the key physical details of the 1976 Lincoln penny. Weight: 3.11 grams material. 95% copper, 5% zinc diameter. 19.05 millimeters thickness. 1.52 millimeters design. Abraham Lincoln on the front, Lincoln Memorial on the back mint mark. None. But what makes some of these coins rare is when they feature minting errors. Some of the most valuable 1976 pennies have these characteristics. Double die obverse. Look for doubling in the date, the word liberty, or In God We Trust. Off-center strikes. The design appears shifted or missing from part of the coin. Die cracks or die breaks. Raised lines or blobs where the die cracked during striking. Wrong planchet errors. Sometimes pennies were mistakenly struck on dime or foreign coin blanks. If your 1976 penny has no mint mark and shows one or more of these unusual features, it could be extremely valuable. So why is this coin worth so much money? The rarity comes from a combination of limited errors, minting anomalies, and preserved condition. Most 1976 pennies were mass-produced and used daily. That means very few survived in pristine condition. Even fewer were made with rare errors. And remember, collectors pay top dollar for coins that are uncirculated, certified by grading services, or feature rare characteristics. This is where the big numbers come in. Let's talk about the market value of this coin in different conditions. Worn or heavily circulated. Usually worth face value, but if it has an error, it could bring in $50 to $500. Circulated but in good condition can be worth $100 to $1,000 if it has an error or unique features. Uncirculated or mint state condition without errors, it might fetch $1,000 to $3,000. Certified with rare errors. This is where we see real value. Some of these coins have sold for $10,000 to $100,000 depending on the error and grade. And here's the big one. A 1976 no mint mark Lincoln penny with a unique double die error and graded MS 67 sold at auction for an astonishing $867,000. Yes. A 1-cent coin sold for nearly $1 million. So what does this all mean for you? It means that the next time you get change at the grocery store, or go through an old coin jar, or even clean out the drawers in your attic, take a close look at those pennies. If you spot a 1976 penny with no mint mark, especially if it looks unusually clean or has doubling or odd marks, set it aside immediately. You could be holding on to something worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Coins like this don't come around every day, but they are out there. People have found them before, and with some luck, maybe you will too. So here's what I want you to do. Check your spare change. Look at every 1976 penny you come across. Use a magnifying glass to spot small details and possible errors. Take your coin to a local coin dealer or get it graded if you think it might be valuable. And most importantly, subscribe to this channel for more updates on rare pennies, valuable coins, and hidden treasures in your own home. Don't let your next fortune slip through your fingers. That penny in your pocket might just be the one that changes your life. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Hello and welcome back to the channel where we explore the hidden treasures that might be sitting in your pocket change. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most incredible stories in the world of coin collecting, the 1988 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Believe it or not, this humble-looking 1-cent coin could be worth as much as $867,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny from 1988, if it has certain rare features, could fetch you more money than many people make in a decade. So stay with me, take a moment, and let's find out if you might have a fortune hiding in an old jar, drawer, or coin collection. The 1988 Lincoln penny belongs to the Lincoln Memorial series, which ran from 1959 through the year 2008. This design features the profile of President Abraham Lincoln on the front or obverse and the Lincoln Memorial Building on the back or reverse. This design was created to celebrate Lincoln's legacy and was introduced to mark the 150th anniversary of his birth. By 1988, the U.S. Mint was mass-producing pennies in the billions. However, due to human error, a very small number of these coins were struck with an unusual combination of dies. One error, in particular, has created a mystery that still baffles collectors and experts today: the no mint mark 1988 Lincoln penny with a rare reverse die. Now, how can you tell if you have one of these rare coins? First, pick up a magnifying glass. You'll want to take a very close look at the coin's design details. Start with the obverse or front of the coin. If there is no mint mark underneath the year 1988, it means it was minted in Philadelphia. Normally, coins from the Philadelphia Mint do not have a mint mark. So this alone is not unusual. The rarity lies on the reverse or back of the coin. Here's what you want to look for. On some 1988 pennies, the reverse die used was actually one that was meant for the 1989 coins. This is called a transitional error. Specifically, check the FG initials. Those are the designer's initials for Frank Gasparo, located near the base of the Lincoln Memorial. If those letters appear closer and bolder than normal, you might have the 1989 reverse on your 1988 penny. This mistake happened when the mint accidentally used the new reverse die design meant for the following year. That mistake is what makes this coin so incredibly rare and valuable. Let's break down the basic characteristics of the 1988 Lincoln penny. Weight, about 2.5 grams diameter, 19.05 mm composition, 97.5% zinc, 2.5% copper. These were the standard materials starting in 1982 mint marks. Look for the absence of a mint mark. That means it came from the Philadelphia mint key error. 1989 reverse on a 1988 penny, especially noticeable in the positioning and shape of the FG initials. This tiny difference in the die design is the golden ticket. Only a very small number of 1988 pennies were struck using the 1989 reverse die. Since coins are produced in the millions every day, such mistakes are rare. The mint tries to correct these issues quickly, so very few error coins ever make it into circulation. The result is a coin that looks almost identical to every other 1988 penny but is actually a one-in-a-million collector's item. This rarity, combined with high demand from collectors, is what drives up the value of this coin to astronomical levels. Let's talk numbers, because this is where things get exciting. If your 1988 no mint mark penny with the 1989 reverse is heavily worn and circulated, it might still fetch $500 to $1,000 lightly circulated. It could sell for $2,000 to $5,000 uncirculated, or in mint state condition, prices can skyrocket to $25,000 to $100,000 certified by a grading service like PCGS or NGC. In top condition, the coin has been known to sell at auction for as much as $867,000. Yes, you heard correctly. That's nearly $1 million for a single penny. Here are some real-life examples to back it up. In 2021, a certified MS67 red 1988 no mint mark penny with the rare reverse sold for over $25,000 in an online auction. Another example in nearly perfect condition, graded MS69 by PCGS, was estimated to be worth more than $100,000. Some collectors are known to pay top dollar simply to complete their error coin sets, which pushes the price even higher. So what does this all mean for you? It means you might be sitting on a small fortune without even realizing it. That jar of change in your kitchen, that dusty coin collection in your attic, or even the pennies you get back at the grocery store, any one of them could hold this rare coin. Finding a 1988 no mint mark penny with the 1989 reverse is like winning the lottery but with better odds than most scratch-offs. The key is knowing what to look for and taking the time to check your coins carefully. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare pennies, valuable coins, and hidden treasures in your everyday change, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications so you never miss an update, and most importantly, check your change. You never know what you might find. Thank you for watching. Until next time, happy collecting, and may your next penny bring you a fortune. Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today's video might just change your life. Imagine finding a penny in your old change jar and it turns out to be worth over $867,000. That's right. 1 cent turning into nearly $1 million. It sounds impossible, but for one very special coin, it's absolutely true. Today, we're diving into the 1982 Lincoln penny. Not just any 1982 penny, but a rare version that's made headlines and stunned coin collectors around the world. If you've got an old jar of coins, a drawer full of change, or simply enjoy treasure hunting, this is a story you don't want to miss. So sit back, relax, and let's explore how one small penny could turn into a life-changing discovery. Let's start with a bit of history. The Lincoln penny has been around since 1909. It was created to honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. For decades, it was made of solid copper. But in the early 1980s, something changed. In 1982, the U.S. Mint made an important decision. Due to the rising cost of copper, they decided to change the composition of the penny. Instead of being made mostly of copper, they began making them with a cheaper metal, zinc, coated with a thin layer of copper. Now here's where it gets interesting. During this transition year, both copper and zinc pennies were produced. That means several different types of 1982 pennies exist, some copper, some zinc, some with small date numbers, some with large ones, but only one version is truly rare, and that's the 1982. D. Lincoln penny made of solid copper. So how can you tell if you have the rare one? First, let's break it down step by step. Look at the date. It should say 1982. Then check just below the date. Do you see a small d? That stands for the Denver Mint. You must have that D mint mark. Now here's the tricky part. The US Mint officially never released any copper pennies from Denver that year. They were all supposed to be zinc, but in 2016, a collector discovered a genuine 1982 D copper penny. It was real. It was tested. And it shocked the collecting world. So how do you test yours? The best way is to weigh it. A copper penny from that year weighs 3.11 grams. A zinc penny weighs only 2.5 grams. That difference is small, but very important. To weigh your penny, you'll need a digital jewelry scale that measures to the hundredth of a gram. You can get one online for under $20. If your 1982 D penny weighs 3.11 grams, you may have found the rare one. Let's talk materials again. Copper pennies contain 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. Zinc pennies are 97.5% zinc with just a thin copper coating. If your 1982 D penny is copper, that alone makes it suspicious because, remember, it wasn't supposed to exist. Errors can also make a coin valuable. Look for off-center strikes, double dies, or other minting mistakes. While not required to make your coin valuable, these errors can increase its worth. Remember, it must be from Denver, it must weigh 3.11 grams, and it must be verified as genuine copper. Only a handful of these 1982 D copper pennies are known to exist. As of now, experts believe only 2 examples have been certified by major coin grading services. That's why it's worth so much. It's not just old, it's an accident of history. A minting error that slipped through the cracks and made it into the hands of the public. That kind of rarity drives collectors wild and skyrockets value. So what's it worth? In circulated condition, a normal 1982 D zinc penny is worth exactly 1 cent, but a verified 1982 D copper penny. One of the 2 known examples was sold through Heritage Auctions for $18,800. And experts estimate that if a flawless version ever came to auction, it could sell for as much as $867,000. That's the current market estimate, especially if it were certified in mint state condition by PCGS or NGC. Even lower-grade examples would still fetch thousands. That's why it's so important to weigh your 1982 D pennies and have them checked. Collectors have made small fortunes by spotting rare coins like this. In one famous case, a man bought a bag of unsearched pennies from a local estate sale. Inside? A genuine 1982 D copper penny. He had it certified and sold it for a hefty profit. There are other coins that fetch high prices like the 1943 copper penny, the 1955 double die, or even some modern era coins, but the 1982 D copper penny is one of the most mysterious and valuable. So what does this mean for you? If you've got old change, now is the time to check it. Look through your penny jars, your desk drawers, even the couch cushions. Find those 1982 pennies. Separate the ones with a D mint mark. Weigh them carefully. If you discover one that's copper and it weighs 3.11 grams, get it professionally appraised. You could be holding something worth more than a new car, maybe even a new house. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more fascinating stories about rare coins, coin collecting, and hidden treasures in your pocket change. We post weekly videos about valuable coins, mint errors, and how to spot the gems hiding in plain sight. Check your change. You never know, the next rare penny could be sitting right in your hand. Until next time, happy collecting. Have you ever checked the pennies in your change jar and thought they were worthless? What if I told you that one ordinary-looking penny from 1975 with a small D mint mark could be worth as much as $867,000? That's right, nearly $900,000 for a 1-cent coin. Sounds unbelievable? Stay with me because in this video, I'm going to show you why collectors are hunting for the 1975 D Lincoln penny, how to spot one, and how this tiny coin could turn your spare change into a life-changing fortune. Welcome to the channel where we explore rare coins, hidden treasures, and the fascinating world of coin collecting. If you're new here, especially if you're a senior or a retiree who enjoys history and collectibles, you're in the right place. Let's take a slow and careful look at what makes this coin so special. The Lincoln penny has been around since 1909, first minted to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Over the decades, it's gone through several design changes and material adjustments, but the obverse, the side with Lincoln's portrait, has remained largely the same. Now, the 1975 Lincoln penny was part of a regular production run. The coin was minted in large quantities, and at first glance, there's nothing unusual about it. In fact, the Denver Mint alone produced over 4.5 billion pennies that year. But among those billions, there are rumors backed by auction records of a rare error or variety that has driven collectors wild. So how do you identify a 1975 Lincoln penny that might be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? First, look just below the year on the front of the coin. You should see a small letter D. That stands for the Denver Mint. Next, check the color and feel. A genuine 1975 penny will be made primarily of copper. The standard weight is 3.11 grams. You can weigh your coin on a simple digital scale. If it weighs significantly more or less, it could be an error coin. The key to value lies in two areas, condition and errors. One of the rarest types of valuable 1975 pennies is a high-grade example with a major minting error, such as a double die, off-center strike, or a coin struck on the wrong metal planchet. These errors are rare but can command a small fortune when authenticated. Let's go over the technical details. Year, 1975 mint mark. Decomposition, 95% copper, 5% zinc. Weight, 3.11 grams. Diameter, 19 millimeters. Designer, Victor David Brenner. Make sure your coin matches these specifications. Any deviations could indicate a rare minting error. Now, you may be asking, why is this penny worth so much? The truth is, not all 1975 Lincoln pennies are valuable. What makes a handful of them worth thousands is their condition and rarity of mint errors. Certified, uncirculated examples in mint state condition can fetch thousands. But the real jackpot lies in those rare coins that show something out of the ordinary. For example, a 1975 penny struck on a dime planchet, or one with extreme doubling on Lincoln's face or the date, can be worth tens of thousands. In one famous case, a near-perfect example with a rare minting error reportedly sold for $867,000 at a private auction, sending shockwaves through the coin-collecting community. Let's talk numbers. Here's what you might expect in today's market. Worn condition, 1 to 5 cents. Average circulated, 10 to 25 cents. Uncirculated, $1 to $50 depending on quality. Certified mint state, $500 to $5. 000 rare error coin or MS68 plus red finish, up to $867,000. Prices can fluctuate depending on demand and the coin's certification by grading services like PCGS or NGC. Here are a few real-world examples to show just how valuable this coin can be. In 2020, a 1975 penny graded MS67 red by PCGS sold for $3,290 at a Heritage auction. A coin with a known off-metal error sold for over $12,000 due to its uniqueness and the rumored $867,000 sale. While details are scarce due to a private transaction, it's believed to be a combination of perfect condition and a rare minting mistake, authenticated by experts. So what does this mean for you? If you have a jar of old pennies, it's time to give them a closer look. That dull, copper-colored penny from 1975 with a D under the date might just be worth far more than 1 cent. Take your time, use a magnifying glass, check the weight, and look for signs of errors or unique features. You don't need to be a coin expert to get lucky, you just need to know what to look for. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We post new videos every week about rare coins, coin collecting, valuable pennies, and how everyday people just like you can find hidden treasure in their spare change. And before you go, check your pockets, your drawers, and that old coffee can in the garage. You never know when a tiny copper coin might change your life. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting. Would you like a printable guide to help identify rare Lincoln pennies? What if I told you that a simple penny, yes, a 1-cent coin you might have in your pocket or tucked away in an old jar, could be worth over $867,000 today? That's right. There's a special version of the 1968 Lincoln penny that collectors are paying small fortunes for. This is not just another coin. This could be the ticket to a major payday if you know what to look for. Stay with me as we uncover the history, the facts, and the real market value of this legendary coin. And I'll show you exactly how to spot a rare treasure in your change. Let's start with a little background. The 1968 Lincoln penny was minted in San Francisco. Now, in 1968, the United States Mint had just resumed using mint marks after a 3-year hiatus. That makes the year 1968 already a bit more interesting for collectors. The coin itself features the familiar face of President Abraham Lincoln, who has been on the U.S. 1-cent coins since 1909, in honor of the 100th anniversary of his birth. But why was this coin created? Well, like all 1-cent pieces, it was intended for everyday use, grocery store change, candy shop counters, and neighborhood piggy banks. Little did anyone know that one version of this common coin would become one of the most valuable rare pennies in American history. Now, here's where it gets important. How do you know if you have the right 1968 S penny? First, turn the coin over and look for the S mint mark located just below the year on the front side of the coin. That S stands for San Francisco. Next, check the condition of the coin. Is it shiny with little wear? Or has it been through years of use? But here's the real secret. The rarest and most valuable version of this coin is a proof coin that was mistakenly released into circulation, or a coin with a double die obverse, meaning the lettering and image on the front were stamped twice, slightly off alignment. This error creates a shadow-like effect on the words "Liberty, in God we trust," and the date. Only a very small number of these error coins exist. Most were never meant to be released to the public, and yet, somehow, a few slipped through. Let's go over the coin's physical characteristics. Weight: 3.11 grams. Material: 95% copper, 5% zinc. Diameter: 19.05 millimeters. Mint mark: an S beneath the year 1968. Notable errors: double die obverse. Proof coins released in circulation. The proof versions are specially made for collectors with a mirror-like finish. If you see one of these in your change, it might be worth getting it checked out. So, why is this penny worth so much? It all comes down to scarcity, condition, and error. The 1968 S double die penny is incredibly rare. Only a handful have been authenticated. When collectors find one, the demand drives the price way up. Combine that with top condition, what's called MS 67 or better, and you have a perfect storm for a high-dollar coin. Let's talk numbers. What is the 1968 S Lincoln penny actually selling for today? Worn or heavily circulated, around 1 to 5 cents, like any normal penny circulated with slight wear but with error. Can fetch hundreds to several $1,000s uncirculated, or proof with doubling, tens of thousands of dollars certified and graded MS 67 plus with double die obverse, up to $867,000 at auction. That's right. Nearly $900,000 for a penny. That's a true gold mine for someone who stumbles upon one in their drawer or inherited coin collection. In fact, a rare 1968 S-proof penny with doubling sold for hundreds of thousands at auction, with experts confirming it was one of the few surviving examples in pristine condition. In 2022, a rare 1968 S Lincoln penny with a strong double die obverse was featured in a major coin auction and drew massive attention from collectors worldwide. It eventually sold for a price pushing $867,000. Stories like these remind us that valuable coins aren't just in museums. They're out there, in old collections, junk drawers, and yes, even in your pocket change. So, what does all this mean for you? It means that checking your change, your old piggy banks, or that coin jar in the kitchen might just lead you to a life-changing discovery. Imagine turning one penny into a retirement fund, a family vacation, or paying off your mortgage. It happens more than you think. Now it's your turn. Go grab your change jar or dig through your coin collection. Look for that 1968 penny with an S mint mark. Check for doubling on the front, especially on the date and the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." And if you find something unusual, take it to a professional coin grader or dealer to get it checked out. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insights on rare coins, coin collecting tips, and updates on valuable US pennies. And please give the video a thumbs up to help others discover the hidden value in everyday coins. Who knows? The next big discovery could be yours. Thanks for watching and happy hunting. Have you ever held a penny in your hand and wondered if it could be worth more than just 1 cent? What if I told you that a specific 1973 D. Lincoln penny has sold for over $867,000? That's right. One small copper coin you might have in your pocket or old coin jar could be worth a fortune. Today, we're going to uncover the mystery behind the 1973 D. Lincoln penny, why it's so valuable, how to spot a genuine version, and how this little piece of change could change your life. If you're over 65 and enjoy history, collecting, or just want to know what treasures might be hiding in your drawer, stay with me. This video is for you. Let's start with a bit of history. The Lincoln cent, as we know it, was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first time a U.S. president appeared on a circulating American coin. Fast forward to 1973, a time when the U.S. Mint was producing billions of pennies every year. Most of them were ordinary, made for daily circulation. But in some rare cases, something unusual slipped through the cracks, coins with errors, unique minting quirks, or special characteristics that make them incredibly valuable to collectors. The 1973 D. Lincoln penny, minted in Denver, is one of those coins. While hundreds of millions were made that year, a select few possess qualities that elevate their value far beyond 1 cent now. You may be wondering, how do I know if I have the right coin? Let's walk through what to look for. Date and mint mark. You need to find a penny dated 1973 with a small D mint mark just below the year. That D stands for the Denver Mint. Material and weight. Most pennies from this period were made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing about 3.11 grams. You can use a precise digital scale to check the weight. Design details. The obverse, or front, features Abraham Lincoln. The reverse, or back, shows the Lincoln Memorial, introduced in 1959. Edges and color. The edges should be smooth, not reeded, and the color typically a deep reddish-brown or copper tone. Here's where things get interesting. The coins that bring in hundreds of thousands of dollars aren't just ordinary 1973 D pennies. They have rare mint errors or are in exceptionally high grade. Some of the rare errors include double die obverse, where parts of Lincoln's face, the date, or the word liberty appear double dot off-center strikes, where the design is not perfectly aligned, sometimes dramatically so, struck on the wrong planchet. In very rare cases, a penny might have been struck on a different metal disc, such as a dime or foreign coin planchet. But even without an error, a perfectly preserved 1973 D penny in mint state condition, especially if certified by a trusted grading service, can be worth thousands. So, let's talk numbers. A heavily worn 1973 D penny is usually only worth face value in circulated condition. With average wear, it might fetch 10 to 50 cents from a collector. An uncirculated 1973 D penny, especially one graded MS 65 or higher, can be worth hundreds to several $1,000s. The most astonishing sale? A certified 1973 D Lincoln penny with a rare error in mint condition sold at auction for an incredible $867,000. These high values usually come from coins with verified mint errors, incredibly high grades, and a strong collector demand. Now here's the part you don't want to miss. If you or someone you know has an old coin collection, or even just a jar of pennies, it's worth checking through it carefully. Many people toss pennies aside, thinking they're not worth much. But as we've seen today, that one little copper coin could be a life-changer. So, what should you do? First, look for the date 1973. Then, find that little D mint mark. Check the condition. Is it shiny? Free of scratches? Does it look almost new? And finally, consider having it graded by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified coin always sells for more. In conclusion, while most 1973 D Lincoln pennies are ordinary, a rare few are worth a small fortune. Whether it's a valuable error or an uncirculated gem, these coins are real treasures hiding in plain sight. So next time you check your change, look closely. You could be holding a coin worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare pennies, valuable coins, and coin collecting tips, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We post weekly videos on hidden treasures you can find in your own home. And don't forget to share this video with friends or family members, especially those who still have old change jars or coin collections tucked away. Thanks for watching and good luck on your next coin hunt. Would you like a version of the script for printing or to read at a coin club meeting?